A really good friend of mine is starting a YouTube channel, and the video that you're getting ready to watch, I made for him. And I figured, hey, there's a lot of people that watch my videos that could also benefit from this. So because of that, I'm also sharing this with you. Now, of course, for your sake, I went ahead and edited, some of it, added, a little bit of detail in terms of zooming in on certain things and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is a pretty raw piece of content that was intended for someone else, but I want to give you the opportunity to see this information as well. Because you might not have ever had the chance to sit in and watch somebody make videos who's been doing it for a long time. So I wanted to share this information with you so that you can hopefully learn from it so that you can also make better videos for your audience as well. So without further build-up, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the video, and we're starting right now. So the very first thing that I do, of course, is I make sure that I set up my lights and I get everything positioned how I want. I make sure, of course, that I have my tablet here for any notes that I might take with the video. And of course, I make sure that I have my water handy. And in addition to that, I also make sure that I have my gray card ready. And the reason that I use this, you're gonna see right here in just a second. But the basic idea with the setup here is I try to make sure that things are, not cluttered. So because of that, I have the camera on right now and I look in the background to make sure that there's nothing back there that, is going to be distracting outside of the things that I'm intentionally putting back there, like the words that are on the wall, for example. So because of that, I just do a quick check here. Make sure that there's nothing really distracting going on in the background. I make sure that I have this, and then of course I make sure that I have my tablet handy and some water. In the addition, because right now, or in the event I should say, that I'm gonna be making a lot of content, which right now I'm getting ready to batch somewhere between 3 and 5 videos, depending on how fast I can get through them. But I also will use these from time to time. And with these, the whole idea is, of course, I'll have these and it kind of coats my throat and it just kind of keeps me going without me getting hoarse or anything like that when I'm making the content. So step number 1, of course, is to make sure that I get enough sample of the room sound. And while I'm doing that, I also make sure that I get this. And the reason that I do that is because this right here helps me set the white point of the video. It helps me make sure that the white balance is dialed in on the right way. Or for the guard who edits a lot of these videos, it also helps him do that same exact thing. And the reason that I sit here in silence, which you're getting ready to see in a second, the reason that I do that is because by sitting here in silence and holding this up, he can sample that color. He can do any type of, color grading on me or the rest of the room that he would like. And in addition to that, it also gives us quiet. And that quiet helps us understand, or helps the software understand what noise sounds like in the room without me talking. So when we go to actually sample that noise out, because I have an air conditioner running right up here. So when we go to sample that noise out, the software actually knows the frequencies to sample out. So here we go. This video is about how to use the community tab on YouTube. Okay, that's it for that part. Now, with that, the reason that I say this video is about, how to use the community tab on YouTube in this example. The reason that I do that is because when I am doing these in batch, this helps keep everything organized because, I pass all of this stuff on to the guard. Some of it I'll do myself, but some of it might not get edited for, a week or 2 weeks or whatever the thing happens to be. So because of that, making sure that I make that note helps ensure that, the right things are going with the right content as it's being made. Plus, this also helps identify what it is that I'm saying here, what this video is about, along with what it is that's in the content schedule. So then that also helps make everything organized in terms of the listing of the content schedule, how things are listed inside of Dropbox when we actually upload everything, and then of course, what's actually happening in the video. Next, we record the hook. Now, when it comes to the hook, I write this down word for word. And the reason that I write this down word for word is because the hook is arguably the most important part of the video, because if you can't grab somebody's attention when the video first starts, then they're not going to watch that video for a longer period of time. So because of that, I write this part down word for word. And some things that I'm thinking about when I write that part down is I'm thinking about, okay, with the title of this video, with the thumbnail of this video, what type of expectation is that going to build for that person that's going to click on this? And then once they click on this, what can I say to them to help reinforce what they clicked on, but also help build on that value that they expect to get out of this particular video? So you're going to see that in action right here. So YouTube reduced, I also got to make sure that I'm framed correctly. So YouTube reduced the requirements for the community tab from 1,000 down to 500, which is awesome for new content creators. Nope, that was wrong. YouTube reduced the requirements YouTube reduced the requirement. It's a tongue twister. And you can see here how we're having to say that like a bunch of times in order to get it right. YouTube reduced the requirements on the community tab from 1,000 down to 500. And this is going into effect in the next handful of days, or depending on when you're watching this video, it might already be available now. So that's the first part of the hook, but I'm still going. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing as part of the hook is I'm saying here, if you're trying to get monetized, you're going to want to watch this because I'm going to tell you how to use it to increase your view counts. So, and then I have some other things that I say after that. But the idea there is, again, I'm thinking of the person that's going to be coming into this based on what it is that I'm talking about. So here I'm talking about that requirement being dropped, the community feed being available. So new content creators are going to be the ones that are coming into this. And a lot of those new content creators, if they don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, if they don't have that 4,000 hours of watch time, then in that case, they're trying to get monetized. So in that situation, this helps me communicate to them that this video is going to help them through these very specific things that they are trying to accomplish, right? So I'm making it about them, and none of this has anything to do with me. It's about them and the thing that I think will help them want to keep watching this video for a longer period of time. If you are trying to get monetized, you definitely want to watch this because I'm going to be talking to you about how you can use the community tab to get more views on your videos, how to get more watch time, and how to create a stronger community just by using your community tab. And we're starting right now. And we're starting right now. So for me, I use that as a segue of sorts, where I say the starting right now. It's just kind of like a bridge, like a verbal bridge between like, hey, this is what it is that I'm telling you you're going to get in this video, to like, okay, now the video is actually getting started and you're getting ready to get the information that you came in here for. Okay, this is going to be B-roll on the screen, this whole part. I want to thank Mark Sidebottom Crass for asking this question about the community tab so I could make a video about it. And really quick, I want to thank Mark Sidebottom Crass for actually asking this question about the community tab so I could make this video about it. First, let's talk about the different ways that you can use your community tab. They have a polls function, and with that polls function, you can use it to run polls on your community tab for your community. So for example, let's say that you just want to ask everybody, you know, if they drink caffeinated coffee or decaffeinated coffee. Okay, so the next thing I do, because I noticed that I screwed up there, so now I have to go back and play and see how I actually started this clip. Then I hit play. So I started it with they have a polls function, which means that I'm picking it up again with they have a polls function. They have a polls function that will let you ask your community questions. So for example, if you want to find out if people drink more caffeinated coffee than decaffeinated coffee, then you can use your polls for that. But a better way to use it. But a better way to use it is to use it to ask questions to your audience that will help you understand them better. For example, so since I said for example, and this part isn't, it's not in the actual list, I just say for example, ... so I can fill in the example in natural language here. So for example, no, because I said it for example. So you can use it to ask them if they prefer for you. You can use it to ask your viewers if they prefer you to upload on a Wednesday or a Friday. You can use it to ask your viewers which title that they would be most likely to click on the most. You can even use it to get the response from the people that will participate of if they prefer your live streams better, if they prefer your video on demand content better. Nope. You can also use it to ask your community if they prefer your live streams more, or your shorts more, or your normal videos more. Another feature that you can use inside of your community post, another feature that you can use inside of your community tab is just actually writing out questions to your viewers. Now, this is a great way to get video ideas from viewers to really dig into the nuance of the people that are watching your content. Here's what I mean. So as I'm recording this, because I'm recording it in clips, you can see how I try, when possible, I try to set up each clip after the other. So like how I just ended that one, right? Like the first one, I'm like, you know, for example, and then that kind of builds that bridge to where as soon as I hop into another clip, then I'm picking up that example. That's a great way to transition into B-roll as well. Now, another thing that I just did here is I will say, you know, here's what I mean. and then same exact thing applies. So it's here's what I mean, pretty much saying, for example, it's the same thing, but I'm saying, here's what I mean, and then that's setting up the next clip that's coming. And as this is all being edited together, I already know because I create for the edit. So what I already know is that as this is being put together, it just makes for a really smooth flow of editing as well as somebody that's watching the content itself. Of course, the obvious thing is to simply ask your viewers what type of videos that they would like you to make. However, you can also go a lot further with this by asking very specific questions like, what do you like to do after you work every day? Or what time of day do you typically wake up? Things like that, so that you can start to really fine tune what it is that you're doing with your content based around the understanding that you get from the people that are responding to those. Okay, see, now I gotta start over. So because of that, I know here that I ended before on the here's what I mean, right? So now I have to come back in on that again. So here's what I mean. When you're using this questions feature, the thing that you can do, when you're using the post feature, what you can do there is, when you're using the post feature, you can simply ask people, what type of, when you're using the post feature, you can simply ask people which video. When you're using the post feature, you can simply ask people, what video do I not have on my channel that you would like me to make? And by doing that, you're going to create a huge list of video ideas from the people that are interacting with your content. In addition to that, right? So what I did is I taper it off, right? That are interacting with your content. And then I taper it off, and then I'm gonna bring it back in and say, in addition to that, right? So I'm bringing it low, and I'm in addition to that, and I'm bringing it back up, right? In terms of my tone. In addition to that, you can also ask other questions. In addition to that, you can also ask very specific questions that might cause your viewers to click on your content more. For example, you'll see right here that I made a community post where I asked you if you prefer to be called a YouTuber or if you prefer to be called a content creator. Knowing now that you prefer to be okay, I'm restarting that one too. In addition to that, you can also ask very specific questions to your audience that will help you learn how to get them to click on what it is that you're doing more. For example, I recently ran a community post question where I asked people if they identified more as a YouTuber or if they identified more as a content creator. And a lot more people identified as content creators, which makes me think, okay, well, maybe I'm gonna start testing some of this content creator language in my titles to see if people will actually respond to that better. And so there, since I said respond to that better, that's not really a great tone in terms of finalizing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually close that down. In other words, I'm using that as a tool to help me understand what you identify as so that I can better connect with you when I'm publishing my content. Another option that you have is, of course, posting images to your community feed. You happen to be working on with that particular. Also, make sure that you turn off your phone. You gotta put it on silence. Okay, so now I'm starting this one new with another option that you have is the images. Another feature that you have with the community tab is the ability to post images. Now, when it comes to posting images, some things that you wanna make sure that you're thinking about are, and you can see how this whole thing kind of morphs as we go along, right? Because I have my notes, but then as we're here on the fly, I'm like, I could actually do this in a little bit different way. And I gotta read what I said because I'm talking to you. I gotta see what I said because I'm doing that one too. So let's see what we got here. Is the image that I'm getting ready to post something that the community at large would actually find interesting? If the answer is yes, you're good to go. Does this image that I'm getting ready to post in the community feed help people get excited about a video that I'm getting ready to publish or that I'll be publishing in the near future? If the answer is yes, then you're good to go. Does this image and the story that I write around this image help people get to know me and connect with me a little bit better? If the answer is yes, then you're good to go. But if the answer is no, but if you're going through that check and you're like, no, it actually doesn't do that, or it doesn't do that, then in that case, you want to make sure, no. But if you are thinking of posting an image and you're like, yeah, it actually doesn't fit into any of those categories, then in that case, maybe you want to reconsider, or you just want to define your own purpose for that particular post. Because a really important thing, a quick side tip here, a really important thing about YouTube is you want to make sure that you're being intentional about everything it is that you're doing, including using the community feed. Including how and when you're using the community feed. Okay, now let's get into the views and watch time and monetization stuff. Okay, now let's get into the views, watch time, and the monetization stuff. First, you can Okay, so this part right here is scripted because I know that it's gonna be B-roll and I know that I'm just gonna be voiceovering this part. Okay, so this is gonna have B-roll on top of it, so I'm just reading this right here. For example, if you look at this screenshot, no, I think I said for example before. If you look at this screenshot, you're gonna see Roberto Blake has driven an extra 2,408 views to my videos over the last 90 days just by sharing a few videos in his community tab. For example, what you're looking at on the screen right now is where I shared Daniel Batal's video about setting up a merch store using Spreadshop. Hey man, so when I was recording this, I forgot to mention a very important part here at the very end of the recording process. So basically, when you get somebody to the very end of your video, it's really important to make sure that you get those people to click on another video. And the reason for that is because YouTube absolutely loves it, because it shows that they not only enjoyed that one piece of content, but now they're going to explore and watch more videos from you, which is great. So because of that, it's a really good idea to try to sell the viewer on the video that they should watch next. So the part that you're watching me do right here in a second, that is the setup process to build up why somebody should watch that next video. Here's that part. Now, YouTube also has a bunch of other features. YouTube also has a bunch of other features that will help you get more views and other interactions with your YouTube channel. I just recently made a video about it. You can click into that video right here so you can make sure that you're using those as well. So you can go ahead and click into that now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. So that's pretty much the process. So as we're going through that list, I just go through and I record a clip and then I shut it down, then I record a clip and then I shut it down, and I just repeat that process over and over and over again for as long as it takes to get through the video that I'm making. If you enjoyed this and you want to see the entire 10-step process to making a YouTube video, click into this video right here, right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.